Alright guys, today I'm going to be tying a brim fly. It's going to be better for a hopper dropper, I believe. It'll be better for the dropper portion. And I was just messing around. I saw some classic soft tackles the other day, and I'm going to start getting into those for trout. But I was just messing around on my vise the other day, and I came up with this pattern. And I tied a couple of them up, and I took them out to the lake, and they did really, really well. As a dropper off of one of my Lano bugs. If you look in the other videos, you'll see the Lano bug. Right, so what we're going to need is we've got some white 70 den. You could probably use pink, but my pink is on the other vise. I was showing a little one how to tie. I don't know if I can get that. And she's still halfway through hers, so I'm not going to do that one. So anyway, you're going to need some white 70 den, or pink, whatever. A size 12 hook, size 12 nymph hook. Medium fluorescent pink wire, and you're going to need some of this. This is small Palmer chenille opal, I believe. This is the color. Pearl. It's pearl. Okay, and that's it. That's all you need for this. Just gonna start. Get a thread base. I'll probably be focusing on brim flies for the next little bit because I've got some pretty solid ones. I mean, I guess everybody's got some pretty solid brim flies, but it's about time for them to be on the bed, as well as the bass. And I have a lot of fun with brim. So it's really easy to go out and just bank fish, and you can find them anywhere. And they're not too hard to catch, but they'll put up a pretty solid fight. So when the brim are spawning, I would almost rather catch a brim than I would a bass. Honestly, you can sit there and catch 20 something brim in an hour, or you can catch, 3 or 4 bass in an hour, whichever one you want to do. You get addicted to that bend in your rod, I guess. So we're going to tie this little length of wire in here. Make sure that's nice and snug. Alright. Half hitch. Okay. I'll just wrap this up. Now the key to this is to take your time and put a lot of tension on this wire. Like, you really want to pull it. If you want these to be even wraps and smooth wraps, you want to take your time with it. And you kind of push back. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I've kind of got like a backwards angle. I'm pushing on it and pulling at the same time. And I'm just rotating my vise. And I make it sit right beside the previous wrap. And it looks really good. If you can get this right with your copper johns and those type of flies, anything where you wrap wire, I mean, it really helps. So with this fly, it's not really that important, but I guess you just need to always practice. Alright, so we're going to come up that far. I'm going to tie it off there. I'm going to capture that wire. Like I said, guys, this is a crazy easy pattern, but it's very worth it. So you're going to do one behind, one in front, one behind, one in front, And what that does is that locks it. So if you're sort of new, that's what that does. It kind of, you have pressure on both sides of this. Okay. Oh, look at that. Behind and front. Now I'm going to do about 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bring my bobbin up here. Alright. Now you just helicopter it. And it comes right off. See? There's barely a tag. It's always good to cover that tag though if you can. Just so you don't have any little sharp pieces hanging out. You don't really want to nick your thread and cut it off. You can hear it ticking. That's good enough. Alright, now we're going to take our palmered chenille here. And I'm going to cut about 3 inches maybe. 2.5, 3 inches of it out. We only need a couple wraps of this stuff. You don't want too many wraps on it because it kind of takes away from the back section of the fly because it covers it up. You don't get to see through it as well. So you get that in there nice and tight. Good capture. Half hitch. You pull this tight, make sure it's going backwards. And if you start seeing this stuff here, you can brush these back as you go if you wanted to, or you can just kind of get them at the end. That's about all I want right there. 3 or 4 wraps of it. Do the same thing, one behind, one in front, behind and front, behind and front. Now, since I didn't capture these extra pieces, these little extra pieces, I'm just going to grab it and pull them back and try to catch them with my thread wrap so I don't have to clip them. I don't really like clipping material here at the end of the eye because most of the time I'll miss some and it ends up covering up the eye of my hook there. And then and you don't realize because it'll be right there at the very edge of the eye, and then you'll notice. It's usually you'll notice it on the fly when it's starting to get darker, when it's first thing in the morning, you're trying to tie it on, and for some reason it won't go through. So now that's the fly, guys, right here. I don't know what to call this, the Brim shiny spider. I'm not really sure. Can't tell. Suggestions in the comments. We'll name this fly Brim dropper. Who knows? But I found that pink and white are my favorite colors for Brim. I don't know why, but they just murder anything pink, white, shiny. It's pretty sweet. So I always have full confidence in a fly that's pink or white when I go out to brimfish. And we just finished this. Of course I would hit that right at the very end, eh? And finish this with my my clear cure. Just a little bit. There. There. Alright guys, and there's my Brim dropper. Try it out. Let me know how it works out for you, and I don't know, if you can post pictures in the comments or whatever, post pictures in the comments. Alright. Thanks guys.